Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. Hey girls, thank you so much for having made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies. I can't seem to thank you enough for that because I am forever and always appreciative of you. Because without you, this YouTube channel would not exist. I would not be here, and I know this for a fact. That is evident to me. This has become a fact of my life. Because you girls gave me a second chance when nobody else in my career ever saw the good in me. You did. And I am forever thankful for you having brought me back from seemingly out of obscurity, from out of nowhere. And now we are here to talk about Descendants of Zombies for, well, if you had it your way, the rest of my life. And yes, I know I have a Mickey Mouse coffee mug, which I drink tea out of every single morning, because I have to, because every morning I made a promise, I made a vow to each and every one of you to have a video up by 9:30 a.m. about Descendants of Zombies, because no other YouTube creator out there has promised you anything as crazy as this, as far out there as this, as insane as this, as cute and as adorable as this. So if nobody else is going to do it, that means that Jonathan Clarke is the only guy cute enough and crazy enough to get us out of this situation. Because he, for one, is really excited about Zombies 5. He, for one, is really excited about Descendants Wicked Wonderland. They were going to call it Descendants 5. Now they're calling it Descendants Wicked Wonderland, for those of you who don't know. Heads up. I'm really excited about next year, and I look forward to being here for each and every one of you. I really do. Because somewhere out there in the world tonight, Ruby Rose Turner is going to be watching this video. She's going to be hearing my voice, and I just want you to know, Ruby, I love you. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave us. Because we need you as a part of Descendants Wicked Wonderland. I don't know why for the life of me they took you out of the movie. Ruby, where art thou? Comment down below, Ruby. Let us know where you're to. Because, Ruby, I honestly, going into Descendants 5, I was hoping you were going to be a part of it. You know, we were talking about this evil transformation that Ruby was supposed to undertake. By the time Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland would have seen its release window. Or at least the release window that was suggested. And now I'm crying myself to sleep every single night of my life. Because Ruby is no longer going to be a part of Descendants 5. Oftentimes, if you watch my videos, my lights are pink. Out of respect to Ruby, because I miss Ruby so much. I don't know how I'm going to make it through Descendants 5 without her. I will watch it. I will be there just like each and every one of you reviewing it. And I will find nothing but good things to say about Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland. It's just, without Ruby, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm hoping that Liamani Segura is full of life. She's exciting to watch. She's incredibly beautiful. I know that. I don't even have to watch Descendants to know she's incredibly beautiful because her resume speaks for itself. But one's resume is just one way of looking at it. Because I think about it this way. I have the most greatest resume of all. I was involved with the professional wrestling industry. I did stuff with Disney before. I did stuff with Nickelodeon before. I've done stuff with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, True Blood, Twilight before. But I've never had as many opportunities as these Descendants stars. So, you know, Hollywood is not going to come calling to you. You've really got to put yourself out there to become noticed. So if I was Ruby, what I would be doing is I would be calling up the writers and producers of Descendants and say, hey, I'm not ready to go. None of us were ready to let go of Ruby. I know I wasn't ready to let go of Ruby. Ruby was such a beautiful soul. She was so kind, and she's the reason why I drink tea every morning, trying to put my life together and make sense of it, because she's no longer here to help me make sense of life. No, Ruby, where'd you go? Just when you fall in love with somebody, that's when they disappear. They say goodbye. You know, when Hannah Montana was at the heights of her popularity 15 years ago, because we're approaching the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana coming up in 2026, which I hope they do something for. But when Hannah Montana was at the heights of her popularity, that's when Hannah Montana, zombie infection kicking in there, said goodbye in January of 2011. And I remember that emotional evening when Hannah Montana gave her final performance and said goodbye and removed the wig and said, hey to the world, I'm Miley Cyrus, as if you already hadn't figured that out. My heart was broken because I missed her ever since, and it's nice to see her perform, talking about Hannah Montana. That's the really cool thing about Miley. She's always going back to Hannah Montana. She never just says, okay, I'm trying to leave my Disney past behind me, like Dove Cameron is always doing. Dove Cameron never shies away from saying that she's trying to leave her Disney past behind her. You know, I give you my word that if I ever do work with the Disney company and my time comes to retire and pass the torch, I will never quit on each and every one of you. I will love talking about my Disney past. I will talk about my Disney past every day and night on a podcast that nobody's ever heard tell of. I will always show up on YouTube, on my own YouTube channel, talking about my Disney past. And I will talk about how much fun it is for each and every one of you. And I will reprise my roles on Disney no matter what role I'm playing. Vampire Slayer for Zombies franchise, Prince Charming and Descendants franchise, reboots of every Disney show and Disney movie like Camp Rock and High School Musical, which I was a huge fan of. I will never go away. I will always be here for you because too many people are leaving you without any explanation being offered other than I'm trying to shut the door on my Disney past. Guys, was it really that bad at Disney? I don't think it was really that bad at Disney. I think it was that bad in your own minds. Disney really, they never forget about you, and I don't think they treat you as bad as that. It's just they don't give you creative freedom because, of course, a lot of their stars are minors and they have to go by certain guidelines. And then people like Peyton List are always taking to social media saying, oh, they're treating me so unfair. They are treating you so unfairly, yes, because of no creative freedom, and that can be fixed. Something can be done about that, and how something can be done about that is Jonathan Clarke can have creative control bestowed upon him by the board of directors of Disney. Jonathan Clarke can have access to the $158 billion of revenue that Disney has, and Jonathan Clarke can make sure that shit really hits the fan, so that people like Ruby Rose Turner and Dove Cameron will come back to reprise their roles, and they will have the time of their life. Oh, there's just something with those first few sips of tea every morning. And the Descendants cast really has got me addicted to tea. The Alice in Wonderland side of things at Descendants has really changed my perspective on life. I know for sure that I'm a kinder person, a kinder individual, if you would, a kinder soul because of Ruby Rose Turner. Ruby was so kind. And that's the first thing that jumped out at me about Ruby was that she was just such a genuinely kind person. I mean, she could just say nothing and walk into a room and light up a room with her personality. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I mean, I could just look into Ruby's eyes and know that Ruby was just a genuinely kind person. And I love her so much because of it. And that's why I give Ruby a profound amount of credit. And I don't see anything wrong with Ruby making the decision that she has. If she wants to leave Descendants and embark on other ventures, then I support Ruby for that because I love Ruby. You know, one should not only just say that they love somebody. One truly loves somebody. They are going to forever support them. And I just want to put it out there that because I really do love all these Descendant stars, whatever they choose to do inside or outside of Descendants, I will forever support them. Just as I will support each and every one of you saying nothing but good things in the way of reviews about Descendants of Zombies the way it was meant to be reviewed for a very long time. I go back to when Zombies 4, Night of the Vampires was at the heights of its criticism, and everybody on the Zombies cast wanted to quit. Wanted to just say goodbye. I understand your frustration, guys. I really do, because you weren't given enough creative freedom. The creative freedom you were given was very minimal. It was the heights of shit. I have to put that out there. It really was the heights of shit. And I wouldn't have even gone through that kind of experience that you did. I don't even know if I would have been able to make it out of it. But you showed strength. You showed perseverance. And you became stronger individuals and came out on the other side of the spectrum a hell of a lot better than what you went into it. You went into it with high expectations and high hopes, and nobody deserved to criticize you for that. I found that moments after PR would be released on YouTube, say for Zombies, everybody would jump on their YouTube channels as small-time YouTube creators that weren't even monetized, and would immediately start criticizing it because they thought they were going to get thousands of views. And you were lucky if you put up over 500 views on a video for the analytical system putting it out there, and suggesting it to a wide range of people, because that's what they thought. You know, the age demographic for Descendants was really captivating. It was really diverse, and no doubt it was. It was very diverse. It was very different from any other niche that Disney had promoted over the years, talking about Hannah Montana, High School Musical, Wizards, Sweet Life, Kim Possible, Recess, Goof Troop, Gargoyles, The Little Mermaid TV series, the Aladdin TV series, House of Mouse. Because Disney really came out of this Toon era into this new generation, what was called the Disney Channel Revolution, when Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus, Alex Russo, Selena Gomez were at the heights of their popularity. If not for shows like Hannah Montana and Wizards, I really don't think that Disney would have ever got off the ground. If not for a movie as successful, a franchise such as powerful as High School Musical, it would have never happened. But I think that Descendants and Zombies were the first two franchises that really had torch passed of significance to them, and I'm really excited about that. It was an emotional night for me when I saw Ashley Tisdale, Vanessa Hudgens, and Zac Efron say goodbye to the franchise that made them superstars overnight. It was an even more emotional time for me when I said goodbye to Hannah Montana's character portrayed by Miley Cyrus, because I had the biggest crush on Miley, and I had the biggest crush, an even bigger crush, on Emily Osment. And now Descendants is something, I think, of the first of its kind where people don't ever want to say goodbye. And I don't ever want to say goodbye to this. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I created this show, was because I never wanted to have to say goodbye to Descendants and Zombies. I think more so, well, I'll really say both of them, because I can't choose between either one. I fell in love with both of them very quickly. A lot of people have given me criticism for creating so many Descendants of Zombies videos, but I do this because in my heart, I really believe that each and every one of you deserve better than what you've been hearing on YouTube. And I just wanted to give that to you. I just wanted to be that voice of Descendants of Zombies. And I know that's really far out there to proclaim that you are the voice of Descendants of Zombies is something so special, especially with how I've only been around over a year with this show. Now, for those of you who do know who I am a celebrity on the internet. There is nothing I have ever done that I have never become famous seemingly overnight because of. I could upload a video on Lindsay Lohan years ago and get thousands of views, and have accumulated over 4,000 videos on YouTube with over 100,000 plus views. Just last year on this channel alone, I had over 120,000 plus views, and that's not easy to do. That's an accolade. That's something to be very proud of. And if you can get away with calling yourself the voice of Descendants of Zombies, if one refers to themselves as the voice of Descendants of Zombies, they really have to come through for you in a way that no other YouTube creator who puts himself out there and advertises his content the way that I do. So there is a lot of pressure on my shoulders. I'm not going to deny that. But I have a lot of fun doing it. And I enjoy being here for you because I know how much characters such as Red and Bridget and Chloe mean to you. And mean to this franchise as a whole because it's what's keeping it alive. Because what Disney could have done, and what they seriously contemplated doing at the end of 2019, was closing the book on Descendants because they believed they had told a story and they had completed it. Until Disney reached far and beyond for a new producer such as Kimmy Gatewood and Jennifer Fang to come in and rekindle the thoughts of Descendants of Zombies in the minds of everybody, which I am forever appreciative of. I've often criticized the producers and the writers of Descendants, but I've criticized them in a good way because I think that fans deserve a better experience, a more immersive experience with Descendants, more Q&As, more tours, more interactive experiences where they just don't come out and ask the same 5 questions by the media and they answer it in Q&A where the fan didn't even get a chance to ask her question to her idol. Because that's why you're there at the Worlds Collide Tours, not because you idolize Kylie Contral, because you idolize Mila Baker. You see yourself through their eyes. What if this was me up there on that stage? What if this was me being a part of something so spectacular, something I've dreamed of all of my life? And I just wanted to give that to you as the writer and producer of Descendants because I think you deserved more to think about, to talk about, to be proud of, that you are a fan of, and just really enjoy it in a way that it was meant to be enjoyed. Not have to log on YouTube every morning and see these ridiculous videos that were uploaded about 12 hours ago that make no sense about the rise of Red or the upcoming Descendants Wicked Wonderland. I give you my word that this YouTube channel will forever and always be here for each and every one of you to help you make sense of things that you just can't. Because of your ages, because of the age demographics this appeals to, you will have this made sense to you in a way that it was never made sense to before. Because a lot of people just jump on their podcast every morning before 9:15 a.m. and they say this is what they liked about Descendants: The Rise of Red from the 90-minute production and what they got out of it, what they saw, what they felt they experienced because of it. There are so many lessons, valuable life lessons, that were taught in Descendants. Like second chances are possible, forever exists, one can find their true love. Anything is possible to the moon and back. I, for one, have always believed that, along with wanting to have spread my own message of kindness, which you girls have helped me with by making that decision to hit the subscribe button while you watch me drink tea from a Mickey Mouse coffee mug, which came with a Mickey Mouse coffee percolator a year ago that I bought online. But we haven't got to tell anybody that. And Jonathan Clarke suffers from a zombie apocalypse every morning of his life, has to protect all of you while you're asleep. Jonathan Clarke is in the gym lifting weights all the time, becoming a tank because he needs to protect you from zombies. And he knows that zombies come by the thousands, so he's got to be really strong, really fearless. So I'm hoping that everybody's just going to take a chance on me and hit the subscribe button because I really do love this kind of thing. And I was always a huge fan of Supernatural too, so zombies are really introducing this sci-fi musical to Disney really brought it to life in a way that I don't think anything has ever been brought to life for me in a Disney franchise or by anyone who was ever a part of a Disney franchise. I really appreciate how the stars of it say this is an experience that they will never ever forget. Because I think a lot of people are never really that much in touch with, being a star for Disney Channel and how much of a profound impact it has on somebody's life. I think people like Miley Cyrus and Ashley Tisdale were stars of extreme rarity where they have never ever forgotten their experiences, while 15 years later, Dove Cameron is trying to do everything she can within her power to forget about her Disney past. Again, was it really that bad? I don't know. I know the experience for the Nickelodeon kids were mortally horrifying because of Dan Schroeder, but that had everything to do with Dan's personality, and I really wanted to kick Dan's ass after what I saw, what he was doing with Ariana Grande. It was mortally horrifying. I don't think the experience at Disney was that horrifying. It was just Disney was really strict because they had a product, they had an image that they believed you should live up to. But the issue with Disney is, and I'll just put it out there for you, the issue with Disney was at 8 years old, they expected you to think and have the mind of a 25-year-old. And now Meg Donnelly is only crossing over from 25 years old and still really trying to figure out her life. And she has a lot of pressure on her shoulders, battles with anxiety, depression, her mom struggled with cancer, which she survived, thank God. And I know how hard that is too, because it's just terrible when you see someone you love struggling with so many different crises in their own life, and you just wish you can be there in ways that you just can't, because you don't really feel up to it, or you don't really feel into what you're doing. I think that never enough support and kindness can be shown to those who are struggling every day of their life with certain issues and situations they can't make sense of. And one of the reasons why I jumped on this podcast for the very first time last year and uploaded my very first video was because that's what I wanted to do for each and every one of you. And I like to believe that I accomplished that dream of spreading kindness in a very unique way that separates these videos from everybody else. I like to believe that I would have gotten away with inspiring you that dreams can come true. For example, if you want to join a gym and you want to start lifting weights, then I see nothing wrong with that. I think that's perfectly fine. I'm cool with that. I just wish more people would hit the subscribe button because they are signing up for the gym now. They want to be stronger. They want to learn how to swim. They want to try for track and field, be a part of the volleyball team. Because, training for volleyball is really powerful. I like that about you. I like how Descendants is really inspiring you to sign up for these sports teams and really go for your dreams. And I've never ever wanted to discourage you from that. I've never ever wanted to take that away from you. I just want you to be a part of this. I just want you to make the Descendants of Zombies universe stronger by subscribing to this YouTube channel. Because the reality of all this is you could be subscribed to anybody else's YouTube channel out there on YouTube today, but you're subscribed to this YouTube channel and you're here because you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies. So why am I going to let you down? Why do I have the right to let you down? Oh, eventually I will finish that cup of tea. Eventually I'll wake up. So the way this YouTube channel works is when Jonathan Clarke wakes up, Jonathan Clarke jumps on his podcast every afternoon after his lunch break. Then he jumps back on his podcast every evening before the sun sets. And then he jumps back on his podcast one final time before the sun finally sets on all of our lives. To just let you know that dreams can happen for you. They may have not happened for you just yet, but that doesn't mean that they will not happen for you. You just have to get to that pivotal point in your life where you've realized most of your dreams. Talking to somebody is just through the power of words. But when you actually believe in a dream, and you just don't hear it from their words and their perspective, and you actually sit back and you realize that you accomplished what you set out to do, I think that's the greatest feeling in the world, because often confidence is just given to you in words, and that's never enough. So you have to give it to them in words, but you also have to realize your fullest potential. And even if that means becoming stronger and pushing yourself beyond your physical limits, I think that someone looking at you and saying, well, you did the best that you could, is not really the best way of looking at it. I think that people should be looking at you saying you should have tried harder than what you did to really push you beyond that physical limit so that you do get to that point where you are stronger in the gym, where you are a star of Descendants, where you accomplished every dream that you set out to achieve. Because if you're not pushed beyond your physical limits, then what's the point? And I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to hit the like button because they really do love this video. And that's the best way to show love and give love to this YouTube channel. And that lets me know that you love these videos so much. No matter if they're on Disney's Descendants, Disney's Zombies, Hannah Montana, High School Musical, Phineas and Ferb, Tangled. Whatever you see yourself through the eyes of, because of these videos, however they inspire you, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. Whoever said that turning into a zombie is not real and can't happen to you, oh man. They obviously don't kill a bunch of zombies and vampires every night when you girls are asleep. I do it because somebody needs protection out there, and everybody deserves to feel loved, and I like to believe that I accomplished that goal. I've been doing it for over 30 years. Oh my God. And I really do believe there is never enough kindness seen in this world. And if I can get away with saying this, the words I love you are never said enough. So I kind of just wanted to say that on this podcast more than probably a lot of people do, because a lot of people are just here to review Descendants and Zombies in a way that I think it's not meant to be reviewed, and they really tear down the credibility of Descendants and Zombies, and they really burn it to the ground, or at least they try to burn it to the ground. But the thing is, these other podcast hosts need to realize that Descendants and Zombies fans are the greatest fans in the world. They really are. They really are the greatest fans ever. And I just want to put it out there in a way that I don't think anyone else has ever been able to do it. This is a show that has touched my heart in so many unbelievable ways. And that's why I jump on this podcast. It's only 9:10 a.m. in the morning. And I've already got one podcast put out about Descendants and Zombies. And I'll be working on my second one this afternoon. You know, when I sit behind this podcast microphone, I think about you as the fan and watching this podcast. What do you want to get the most out of your experience for watching this podcast? Do you just want to hear a review about Descendants and Zombies and hear me giving it a 5-star rating? When there's so much more to be said about this, when there's so much more to be looked at from this. You know, we can say the release window for Zombies, for instance, is 2027, but are we really sure about that? Can't we confirm that? We can say the release window is summer 2026 for Descendants Wicked Wonderland. We know that, but we don't really know what time in the summer it will happen. All we know is that this time next year, we will be talking about Descendants and Zombies the way it was meant to be talked about. And I'm really excited about that, to be counting down the hours for Descendants and Zombies for you next year, because next summer is going to be a fabulous time to be proud and to become a fan of Descendants and Zombies. And I want to also encourage that too. If you're not a fan of Descendants and Zombies, I think you should be, and I think you should take a chance on this franchise, because my career was over. My career had faded off into obscurity, but for some reason, you girls brought me back and made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies, which is something that I can't thank you enough for. I don't know where I'd be without each and every one of you. And in all honesty, with me having a stuffy nose this morning and a really itchy nose, mind you, I love sitting behind this podcast microphone, and I do love talking about Descendants and Zombies. So what I would love for you to do is, if you love talking about Descendants and Zombies, if you feel as if you're a part of something so spectacular and so special, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button, and I would love for you to be a part of this incredible journey that you girls have had me on for forever. I feel as if I've been riding a horse through the forest of Oregon, and have attended Seabrook for forever as a citizen, because of you. This didn't happen because I just started watching Descendants and Zombies and I fell in love with the product, which I did. Because everybody can fall in love with the product of Descendants and Zombies, but to create a show and really put yourself out there on YouTube when it comes to Descendants and Zombies, because you don't know how the stars are going to feel about you, you don't know how the media, how all the PR is going to feel about you, you don't know how the fans are going to feel about you, you don't even know if you're going to be accepted. I thought that this was really just going to be something that I was just going to fail at drastically. But you girls gave me life. You made this show stronger, and you made yourselves stronger from watching it. And I get that from how many times everybody hits the subscribe button on this YouTube channel. It truly is an inspiration to be able to sit behind this podcast microphone and to have talked about Descendants and Zombies in a way that I really believe has brought it to life. And I can't thank you enough for it, because when you could be on anybody else's YouTube channel in the final 2 minutes that I have on this podcast this morning, you're here. And I will talk about this again in detail this afternoon, because I'm so appreciative of each and every one of you just being here. It is a beautiful morning on this island. When I woke up this morning, the sun was shining in through my window. And ever since this podcast was launched last year, I think that more people are stronger now because of these messages that you hear on this podcast that relate to Descendants and Zombies. Because most of the videos that you are hearing and seeing on YouTube don't offer you that encouragement, that any dream that you may have is possible, because I want you to run away with that. I want you to believe that every dream is possible, that this guy holding a Big Mouse coffee mug every morning is telling you is actually a reality. And look at that, my cup of tea lasted me the whole show, which is something it never ever does. And you're saying to yourself, hey Jonathan Clarke, you have a Mickey Mouse coffee maker. Do you have a Mickey Mouse waffle maker? Yeah, I do. Mickey was one of my favorite characters of all time. And in all honesty, without Mickey Mouse, we wouldn't be here. Disney would not be here. Disney would have never happened. Descendants and Zombies would have never happened. Just as Descendants and Zombies would have never happened if not for each and every one of you. You are incredible people. You have given me life, you have given me incentive, you have given me encouragement, and made me feel more courageous and more proud than I ever felt before to have been the voice of Descendants and Zombies. So for that, from my heart to yours, I just want to say thank you for having me on this incredible journey that you girls have had me on for what feels like forever. I honestly don't know where I'd be without you. So if you're a Descendants and Zombies fan who has yet to subscribe, I think you just might want to hit that subscribe button because you're really going to like it on this YouTube channel. Be strong, be tough, stand up for what you believe in. Don't take no for an answer because dreams really do go a long way. It's just as kindness really does go a long way for somebody in this world. Thank you girls so much for watching this video. With that being said, bye YouTube. We will do this again and talk again in just a few hours from now.